Hey, Tom here, FlipAnythingUSA. Sorry, busy as heck. I got about 10 guys working outside. And of course, they're cutting grass and doing things that are making my allergies flare up like crazy. Hey, so today I thought I'd share with you, my first wholesale. And you know what? I've never called it wholesale. Back in the 80s when I started, we didn't call it wholesale, just called it a signing. And there's a great chapter in that in my book. If you don't have my book, by the way, get my book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate, for $10-20, and you can get an Audible. I'll read it to you. And if you're not 100% happy, I'll just give you your money back. Okay, but the book is that good, and you'll make more money with my book than most of these goofy courses that are out there. It's funny because you see these fake gurus. They'll be selling cars one week, then they'll be selling real estate, then they'll be a professional at stock. And I just saw recently, all of a sudden, Chris Crone is now wholesaling. Now he's a big wholesale guy. Anyways, it's just so silly. You really want to have somebody with experience in that respect. Very, very important. And so let's see. This really, my first wholesale deal was only about a year, maybe less than a year, after the first property I bought when I was 19 years old. And I'm going to show you this, and it's funny. It's actually this. It's one of these places here. I'll show you which one here. And a lot of people get in the mindset, oh, houses, right? Everything thinks real estate's got to be houses. My first property I ever bought was an industrial building, commercial industrial building. And I was 19, no credit, big time creative financing. That's really option. The only option you have is creative financing when you're young. And so, hey, Richard, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you here from Australia. That's wonderful. So look, we're going to get into it, and I'll show you that stuff, and I'll be right back. And by the way, I got a webinar tomorrow. Don't miss out. Got the webinar tomorrow. Be sure to register for that. You want to learn how to make millions of dollars in real estate? I've made tens of millions over my lifetime, and I'm showing people how to do it. Get in my free webinar. I have it every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central. Go to the link below, FlipAnythingUSA.com/webinar. Sign up for it. You can talk to me face-to-face if you want. Don't waste any time. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. You don't want to miss my channel. I've been doing it for years. All right. So, listen, if you just got here, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. It helps my channel, which, like I say, it's always raw and real with me. I don't usually read anything off a script or worry too much. I just kind of ramble back on experiences made, and really that's the best stuff there is, right? I mean, there's just, you can't fake it. You really can't fake it. I mean, there's plenty of fakes out there that do fake it, but the fact is, people that are teaching that have never lived the experience, they're dealing in theory. It's theoretical to them because they've never done it and lived it. So this little building right here, there was a company in there called Waterbury Hardwood. This building looks exactly as it did 40 years ago when I basically assigned it, and had a big roll-up door here. You see that? That's still there. And in the back, it has the same thing in the back right here. And I don't know what they're doing now. It's kind of interesting. Looks like they got some cars and things. Obviously, they got a forklift there. Let's take a look. Let's get down here and take a look at this for the heck of it. Because things change. Yeah, they still got cars on top of containers here. It says destroy. Skate? Yeah, I don't think it's a skating rink. What's funny is they used to have a rink in here called Whirly Ball. I'm so concerned about audio now. But so let me explain. I had bought this property right here. I was 19 and I bought this property here. And I really didn't have any money. I couldn't afford to buy it when I bought it. But that's kind of where the creative financing comes in, right? This was 5,900 square feet. I bought it with a $500 deposit, and then 6 months later I had to have the down payment, but I was able to live in it and have my business out of it for 6 months rent-free. That's where I came up with the $10,000 down payment, the deposit, which was owner carried. It was basically a subject-to deal. There was 5 underlying notes. The fifth one was the one that wrapped. We call that an all-inclusive trust deed, also known as a wraparound. So I actually bought lumber from the company that was in there. A lumber company, and like I said, it was called Waterbury, Otto Waterbury, as I remember. He didn't like me much. Interesting guy. But, yeah, anyways. But, yeah, that's it. And what happened was the realtor, Bob Dennis from Coldwell Banker, he was, thank God for Dennis, because he's the one that kind of introduced me to owner financing, which is how I bought this. And, a lot of people, you get it in the head that, all that you can do is with owner financing is houses or land. And it's not true. You can do absolutely anything. In fact, I'm not going to get into this story too much, but this building I also bought right here. This is 4,400 square feet. I bought that from Mission Linen Industries in Santa Barbara. And I made $100,000 on that. And that was back in the 80s when I was in my early 20s also. So back on this one here, I had actually went into contract to buy this, even though I knew I couldn't afford to buy it. And my the realtor that had helped line me up, Bob Dennis, who helped set me up to buy this one, we were going to be partners on this one. Well, I can't even remember what exactly happened, but we had a little bit of a falling out. And we decided, hey, one of us should just buy the other out. And so basically that's what he did. He gave me $2,500 and he just kept the deal. And I don't even remember. Oh, audio's loud and clear. Thanks, Richard. So anyways, but really I made $2,500 for doing nothing other than just writing a contract. And remember, this is 40 years ago, right? So 2,500 then, so I'm making $7,500 now. And you can still make a lot of money. And I've talked about the second wholesale deal that I did really was right around the corner. And I could say that. I flip property. Listen, you'll make a lot more money if you can own it. And that's kind of what I do. I've got a lot of people that wholesale in my mentorship, which if you're not aware of my mentorship, you got to check this out. I've got many multimillionaires, young men, elderly men, women of all ages. And this isn't like a community of people blowing smoke, rah. These are people that are smart and busy and really smart. People that are educated, or they're self-employed. They're go-getters. And when I say educated, I mean in the real world. They're real world. They're no slouches in the group. But there's people like me that are just carpenters that have done really well. I've got firemen that are multimillionaires in here now, and Jerry here, he's a storm chaser. He did several six-figure flips, and now he's made $2 million on one deal. And you'll learn about that stuff. You get in the webinar. So I urge you to, if you see the link above there, go to FlipAnythingUSA.com/webinar and just sign up. It's super simple, and there's again no pressure ever with me. But that's it right there. You'll see at the top of here it says webinar. Just click on that. It's a very tiny form to fill out, and it could make the difference. You could become a millionaire. You'll be a millionaire this time next year, if all the stars align and you do the right things. And believe me, there's opportunities that I guarantee you. One of the things you'll be smarter. I say skip the bar, go to the webinar. Right? Skip the bar, go to the webinar. We all know what it's like to have gone to the bar and had a few drinks and wasted an evening, gotten home and throw the kids up, and now you're tired and you can't even be a good dad. All those sorts of things, get in the way. But the bar is probably one of the worst things. It can happen to anybody. It robs your ambition. I had friends around me that smoked pot and did things. One thing I never did is really smoke pot. And it just robs ambition. It robs ambition. And so does alcohol. So I would tell you, skip the bar, go to the webinar, find something that'll light your fire. Believe me, I get high on real estate deals, to be quite honest. Nothing, and I tell people, it's almost like Christmas, right? You're anticipating making a chunk of money, making a great deal. And it's a high. It really is. Also, so if you haven't got my book, get my book. Again, I'll plug that again, but you can click on the link here. It'll take you to Amazon. You can buy it in any different form. But number one, get in the webinar. And then also you can do all three. Apply for the mentorship. and you will get a text, and you will be able to talk to me direct personally. You can tell me a little bit about your situation, financial or otherwise, or real estate. And I got people call me up that already, they're multimillionaires, and I've helped them out just like I help somebody else that doesn't have two nickels to rub together. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me. I'm not all about money. Trust me. So back to the deals here. So that was my first wholesale deal, basically making $2,500, and really it was the result of a falling out. Now the next one, and this is kind of what I teach my students to do, is don't worry about the money, worry about the deal. You get the deal, the money will come, and this is no exception. I got this deal. This was a hardware store. The people had gone out of business. Well, I tracked them down. This place right here, and all of a sudden they were closed, and they were the hardware store. So they were kind of handy for, just whatever, screws and nails and different things. And so I was quick to notice that they were gone. And I tracked these folks down way out in, I think it was called Del Sur, way out here in the desert. And, just like a lot of people that fall out of business, there's some depression and some sort of heartache of some sort that was going on, and, whatever, and financial. And they pulled the plug, and I found them in a trailer out here in Del Sur. They were like just sitting in a motorhome on somebody else's property, and they just said the hell with business, the hell with the world. And I knocked on their door and found out, got the conditions of the foreclosure that was about to take place. And I wiggled in there, and I got in there and got the deal. I got it under contract. Well, so now that was the big step, right? Now I have the right to buy it. Now the next problem, I didn't have any money. And so this is what really put me into wholesaling at that time. And again, now I pay cash for most everything that I buy. I haven't had a loan on a house, and I've gone through probably 30, 40 houses in the last 10 years. I haven't had a loan on any of them. I just pay cash for them because I can pull the cash from other resources, meaning I have other assets that are all paid for. I have lines of credit. If I don't have the cash in the bank, I just pull from those. But that's what I was not in a position to do back then, back in about probably 1984 on this one. But so who did I call? I called my boss, right? The guy that employed me and 100 other people. I figured, hey, he's got money. He can make all these paychecks. And so I got a hold of John Brooks. He owned not Ashland Steel. What did he own? Yeah, I think it was Ashland Steel. Yeah, he actually sold Ashland Steel to another guy. But he erected steel buildings and fantastic guy, good guy. And so I hit him up, and he came out. He came, he smelled money. I told him, I said, man, I got a deal. I think it's worth $250,000, and I'm getting it. I think I was getting it for $150 or $170. I get gray on that one, but there was $50,000 to $75,000 to be made. And so he came out, he met me on the property. They since added on to this building. I do not remember, maybe it was on there, but I don't remember this back section being on here, but maybe it was. But me and John were standing back here in this alley, and I said, well, what do you think, John? He goes, hey, Tommy. He called me Tommy. He goes, Tommy, this is a good deal. And I said, well, great. I said, John, let's buy it, and we'll be partners on it. We'll make some money. And he says, yeah, but I don't want a partner. And I was kind of like, huh, what? And he says, he goes, how about I give you $20,000 and I'll just buy it by myself. And that began the wholesaling for me at that point. And then I realized, you know what? I would love to own this building, buy this building, but if I can make 20 and just walk, and imagine 20 back then, again, it's like making 60 now. And you can make big money like that too, even now. And anybody out there watching, anybody interested, anybody ever done a wholesale deal? Actually, I have a wholesale flipping app, by the way, you can get for free. It's you can go to Flip Anything. It's the Flip Anything app. You can get it on the Apple Store. I think it works best on Apple than Android. But just if you get in the webinar, you'll get the link sent to you to get it anyhow for free. But it's definitely worth taking a look at. But that's how simple it can be. And like I say, that's why I say, get in the webinar, because you'll learn about things that you don't even know are possible. I've made money so many different ways in so many creative financing ways, things that you've never heard of. That I guarantee you, because believe me, I tell people, even if they've been in real estate for 30, 40 years, you'll learn something from me. I've been a very assertive, aggressive investor for many, many years. This this is me in my early, this is my 20s, right, where I made my first million. And for every dot you see here, I bought twice that many in this area. I bought houses in different spots out here. Some I can't even recall. A lot of different properties. It's kind of hard to recall properties. But like this one, of course, I remember because I made 130 grand on that one. But this sort of thing is very, very tangible way for you to make a lot of money. You just got to take the time to educate yourself. And believe me, the country's going to hell. The country's going to hell all around you. And, we've got, many, many, many 10 million new immigrants from, 180 different countries. And believe me, they are here and they are willing to work. Some are willing to steal. So you want to be able to live in a safe neighborhood. But at the same time, you're going to be competing with these guys for jobs too before long. So it's important to make some money, and then just complain about your taxes rather than, fighting for a handout among the people that are coming here to get them. Hey, Grant, good to see you in here. Anyways, anybody got any questions on wholesaling? But that's my first story. That's what got me into it in the beginning. Of course, wholesaling to me is just a fallback. What you learn in my mentorship is, number one, is you don't set out to be a wholesaler. You set out to be an investor. And wholesaling is just a hedge, something that you can do if you can't close the deal. That's how it started for me. I couldn't close the deal. So what's the next best thing? Still get a piece of the action in the position of a wholesaler and let somebody else take a piece of it. A lot of people have, people out there running in circles. They don't even know how to wholesale themselves, and they're instructing others to do it. So that's it. I'm going to call it quits here unless somebody's got a question. I'll take a question, but hey, be sure to get in the webinar tomorrow. It's really, I got guys that have become millionaires, and they took time to get in and look at it, and it's changed their lives. And there's some great gals in there too that have actually done extremely well. And like I say, just skip the bar, get in the webinar, and find out what you missed. Grant, maybe I'll see you in there tomorrow. Richard Smith, I know I've seen you both in there before, but anyways, look forward to seeing you all again. Bye.
Stop and listen. Time is on a mission to eliminate all the snake oil and the fake gurus that fake y'all. He'll show you how to build an empire, starting with nothing but a desire. All you really need is a good mentor, not a used car bullshit. With time, you'll learn to crush it. Investing like Warren Buffett. With real estate, you cannot procrastinate. Everyone who hesitates is left at the starting gate. Hey, yo, so don't delay and join today. The mentorship and flip anything. USA, go.